Welcome to Choice Compass. Today, we are tackling the absolute biggest paradigm shift in software development right now. The question isn't whether you should use AI to write code anymore, it's where should those AI coding agents live? Inside your editor or straight in your terminal? In this explainer, we're going to dig deep into the price, the performances, and the features of both approaches to figure out exactly how you can use AI better. We've got a packed agenda to get through. We're going to map out this heavyweight bout across 6 critical battlegrounds, moving from the core dilemma and user experience straight into the hard performance metrics, token pricing, and finally, our ultimate verdict. Let's kick things off with the big one, the AI coding dilemma. Where should this AI actually live? We are officially way past the era of basic single-line autocomplete. We're living in a world of autonomous AI agents that can plan, execute, debug, and commit entire blocks of code. And the results? They are staggering. Heavy hitters like Booking.com and Jane Street are already deploying these tools in production to call dead code and crush code reviews. They're seeing development cycle times cut by over 30%. The big question is how you integrate these powerful features into your own daily workflow to capture those exact same performance gains. It really comes down to the role you want the AI to play. Think of it this way. IDEs act like a helpful peer looking over your shoulder, instantly suggesting code as you type. Terminal CLIs, on the other hand, act a lot more like a junior developer. You delegate entire tasks to them, let them go to work, and then review the final output. So let's talk about the IDE experience, which is built entirely around a flow-first philosophy. Tools like Cursor and those shiny new VS Code extensions operate on the idea that coding should stay completely fluid. You're inside the editor, you're moving fast, and you're testing ideas. The absolute primary strength here is minimizing friction. You're generating code in line, you're modifying sections just by typing natural language, and you're getting instant, seamless visual feedback. If your day-to-day involves rapid prototyping, tweaking UI, and quickly exploring multiple approaches, the IDE provides an incredibly comfortable, out-of-the-box pair programming experience. You don't have to break your flow to see your code change, and the auto-indexing just handles all the project context for you behind the scenes. But over in the other corner, we have the terminal CLI revolution, and this is all about the control-first philosophy. Terminal CLI agents like Aider, Claude Code, and OpenCode treat AI interaction as explicit, controlled, and deeply tied to version control. A lot of developers are ditching the GUI entirely for this. Like tech creator Network Chalk pointed out, working in the terminal with AI is literally a superpower. Stripping away the graphical interface gives you the flexibility to run multiple autonomous agents simultaneously without cluttering your screen or confusing your workspace. The standout features of the terminal are delegation and true autonomy. Because CLI tools rely on deterministic exit codes, meaning if a test fails, it kicks out an error code, the agent automatically knows it needs to try again. It reads the error, plans a correction, and executes the fix. These self-healing loops mean a CLI agent can operate for hours totally unsupervised. That's incredibly powerful for multi-file, Git-driven workflows and CI/CD pipelines.
Now, let's pivot to performance and context pollution.
To really understand why a dev might choose a bare-bones CLI over a beautifully fluid IDE, we have to talk about memory management. And a massive issue here is context pollution. In an IDE, your state gets messy, right? You have unsaved tabs, open files you aren't actually using, and long conversation histories. The IDE often just blindly sends all of this junk to the AI, polluting its memory and tanking the response quality. CLI agents, however, use progressive disclosure. They only load the exact files requested, keeping the context hyper-focused and clean. You can see the real-world performance impacts of this in the IDE bench paper. The data proves that top models hit around an 85% first-attempt success rate. But if they get stuck in long, messy refinement loops, which happens all the time with the heavy context pollution of IDE sidebars, they start drifting, they hallucinate, and they totally fail to converge on a solution. Clean context is absolutely everything for top performance. Which brings us to Battleground 5, price and token efficiency. How these tools eat up tokens has a direct impact on your wallet, and the differences are stark. IDEs usually lock you into a flat-rate monthly subscription. It's predictable, sure, but you have very limited control over the price. CLI tools lean heavily into a bring-your-own-key, or BYOK model. This gives you highly granular control over which specific models you're paying for. You can use dirt cheap models for the simple stuff and spin up the heavy hitters only when absolutely necessary. To really put this token efficiency into perspective, just keep the number 182,000 in your head. The IDE bench data shows that highly efficient models, like Grok 4.1 Fast, can successfully resolve a real-world coding task using just 182,000 tokens on average. Now, compare that to heavier models, like Claude Opus 4.5, which burn through over 1.3 million tokens for a very similar success rate. If you don't strictly manage your context, like a CLI forces you to, your setup becomes a massive token guzzler, which skyrockets your price if you're paying per use. All right, it's time for the final verdict. Which should you actually choose? We've broken down the features, the performance data, and the pricing models. Ultimately, it comes down to your specific workflow. If you need development velocity, visual flow, and low-friction daily coding, you want an IDE agent. But if you need safe, heavily controlled, multi-file refactoring, where strict Git discipline is mandatory, or if you're highly cost-sensitive and want to dodge token-wasting context pollution, you need to switch to a terminal CLI. So as you're building out your stack, ask yourself, do you value the real-time flow of a helper or the strict autonomy of a junior developer? We break down every option A versus option B scenario by comparing practical features against creative solutions. Our mission is to provide clarity, helping you save time and money. Subscribe to Choice Compass and transform every difficult dilemma into a clear, confident choice. See you next time.